Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. So a couple interesting things I've been looking at today. I had loaded this up this morning wanting to make a video about it, and then I just got busy all through the day with my day job and haven't had a break to get away and make this video. And something interesting has happened in those hours since then. So I had noticed, hey, it's golly, is it Wednesday? And this comes into full release on Friday. And so this morning, this was running still in the low 430s. And over the course of today, all of these sellers have come in and undercut each other again and again and again. And you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 different sellers coming in and undercutting until we're already down to $420 a box right now. Now, I am but in no way going to try to say that the market for this is breaking. It's collapsing or anything like that because the reality is that as we get into Thursday and then Friday and the weekend, we could see the purchases of this pick up a lot and the price jump back up. And it could go five, six, $700. It could. Or a lot of sellers could come onto the market as they've received their allocations now, physically receive them, not receive information of the number, but physically receive the boxes and are ready to bring them to market. And so we could see a very, very big increase in the supply coming on the TCG player. We could see whether the demand for it is going to hold up through the weekend. So I'm not making any prediction on this. I was bearish on this product earlier. It's gone up $100 per box since then. So it merely giving back $10 or $15 per box is not really a great victory lap at this point. But I think that it's going to be interesting to watch through this weekend because the market for these collector boxes has been so strong for 2.5 years now, and then on top of that, it's been so exceptionally strong for the last 6 months. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see, is this going to follow it? Is this going to spike upwards in the coming days? Are we going to see $500 on this? Or is this going to be the first big breakdown in collector boxes? Yes, we've had a couple over the last 2 years, like Murders and Outlaws for a while, though it's recovered. We've had a couple over that time, Aetherdrift also, that have done poorly, but we haven't had a lot of cases where something did great and then broke down. Now, Innistrad Remastered got up to 380 pre-release, and then it broke down to 250, 240 on the Amazon dumps. I believe 240 on the Amazon dumps was about as low as it got. So it had a downturn like that, but the capacity for a downturn on a standard product, on a hat set. Yes, not everybody agrees with me that it's really a hat set, but the potential is there for a much, much bigger breakdown. So it'll be interesting to see, since we moved into this kind of last 6 months of just unbelievable craziness with collector boxes, with Final Fantasy, with the Spider-Man boxes and their pre-release sales and everything else. What will happen with this? Is it going to continue to trend? Is it going to hit 500? Is it going to go above that in the coming days? Or could it face a very, very large breakdown? And if it does, what does that say going forward? So let's sit and watch, and then we will come back to it in a couple of days and see what's happened, and we'll talk about it again then. Of course, I will have the sales data all the way through Friday release day. I will make a video about that on Saturday and publish it then. Then I will probably make a separate video simply discussing it and comparing it with some other things. Now, second that I wanted to talk about today was Spider-Man. And this has kind of done the same thing when you look at these last several days here. Well, if we go back to the 27th, and today is the 30th, so at the 27th, it was still selling with some boxes down at $720. And the next day, the same thing, some boxes all the way as low as 720, and then it just absolutely has taken off. The market price is struggling to catch up with the current lowest ask. It is trailing it by about $140. So this one is a lot more interesting because You have that universes beyond demand. You have the demand that it is a popular IP. It's freaking Spider-Man. Beyond that, you have the knowledge that WotC holds the Universes Beyond collector box print runs even tighter than standard print runs. So you know it's going to be a tighter product because they do not want to see Universes Beyond collector boxes selling below wholesale. That would have a negative impact on their ability to recruit future IPs into universes beyond slots. So, you know, the print run's going to be held tightly. It's a popular IP. And again, we are in this crazy era where these collector boxes can do this kind of stuff. And so you can see that the market is pretty thin, showing 113 boxes listed right now. And of course, this is a end of September product, so we still have 2 months until its release. But $900 2 months out. Final Fantasy was not doing anything close to that. If I recall, it was $800 on release day. And then it spiked up beyond that into what, 1300 today, something like that. So wild, wild times, but it's interesting to watch Spider-Man in the last 3 days sprint up by close to $200 between the lowest sale price of the last 2 or 3 days and today's current lowest ask price. There's nearly a $200 gap in that. And compare that to Edge of Eternities coming out this Friday and struggling to maintain these prices, and very likely going to see, well, if history is any informer, the TCG expansion life cycle says that this price should go down in the coming days. But with the changes to collector boxes and how they've been performing the last 6 months, well, that history says it should be going up in the next few days. That's why this one's so exciting. This one is just interesting because, damn, $900 and we got 2 months until release. So I'm going to talk about these more in the future. Don't worry. So subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.